Today I want to talk about Laravel factories. They're really useful for setting up test data, and they especially shine when we need to create interrelated pieces of data. We're using eloquent relationships, and we can express that in a very short but clear to read way. So let's take a look at an example to set this up. Here I have a simple model, let's call it client, and it has two relationships. I have a user relationship, which is a user model, and then I have a distributor relationship, which is also using the user model. So maybe this user is like the owner of the client, and this is the distributor for the client. So with that set up, let's open up a Tinker session, and let's create a couple records. So first we'll create an owner, right? So I'm just going to use the user factory, and let's give it a name, right? Let's call it name owner, just to make it obvious as we're using this in the future. So there we go. Here's our user record, owner, ID 4. Now let's do the same thing for a distributor. Again, the name isn't really essential here, but it'll make it a little easier to identify as we keep going. Great. So basic use of a factory would be something like this. Let's create a client. In fact, I think I have to, because client is one of those generic words in Laravel. I got a namespace it here. So let's do that. And I can say, I want it to be for that owner, right? So let's do this. And just this really short expression, for owner, and I hit enter, and it does it. It sets that user ID, again, using this user relationship, and it takes the variable I had already created and it wires that all up. So now if I say client user, I get back my owner record. Works great. But now let me show something that maybe you've bumped into. What if I want to do this? So I'm going to recreate this, and I want it for that owner, but I also want it to be for this distributor, right? Because I have two relationships. I might want to set both of them for one of my tests that I need to set up. What's going to happen here? Well, it does succeed, but you can see the user ID it set is 5. And if you're paying attention, that was our distributor. So in fact, if I say client user, sure enough, that's the distributor record. That's a problem. That is not what I was expecting. And then if I say client distributor, that comes back null. So that's not what I'm expecting either. But if we look at this code again, what's actually happening here? Laravel is not, it doesn't care at all what our variable name is. It doesn't use owner or distributor to resolve which relationship it goes to. All it's looking at is what is the type of model being passed in. Now, in both of those cases, the type is user. So by convention, it just looks for a relationship called user. There's nothing in here other than our variable name that would indicate to Laravel that this should use that other relationship. Now, thankfully, the solution is quite simple. If I simply provide a second argument, and this is just a string name of the relationship, and I hit enter, now it works. It set user ID 4, which is our owner, and distributor ID 5, just as I expected. So this is a simple technique, but it's one that you need to use, because very often you run into situations like this where either the model name does not match the relationship name, or you have more than one relationship that uses the same model. So this is very handy when you're setting up your Laravel test data.